Hey, Mike Hilly here, and if you're like the majority of people taking a look at this, you're probably interested in a viable way to supplement your income. If it doesn't mean having to change careers, take on a second job, or become some kind of internet whiz, I'm going to show you a project that a lot of people are getting involved in called TexitCoin, TexitCoin mining. And I'm going to explain it in brief details for the majority of people who don't truly understand the potential. I'm going to walk you through this. So what we're looking at right here is TexitCoin, which is a cryptocurrency. It is a mining blockchain project. And I want you to look at this because I need to get your attention real quick. Currently, TexitCoin at the time of me recording this video is $3.16. It has gone up in just over a year, over 4,698%. Okay. So that should get your attention because anytime you can get into or early on a project that might have some potential growth, especially like those numbers, you might want to take a good look at it. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through, I'm going to jump around quite a bit on here, but I'll keep it slow in the important parts to make sure you understand it. Because what I want to do is give you a beginner friendly presentation on digital assets and mining. Now, I'm going to make it simple. You don't have to know how all this works to reap the rewards of it. All right. So that's real important because here's what you need to know is crypto is the future. Just as Blockbuster disappeared because of Netflix, cars made the horse irrelevant, and old steam engine trains are no longer being used because there's high-speed bullet trains, okay? And the biggest thing is what this is this is digital currency, okay? You're probably using less paper money today than you were years ago because everything's moved to credit cards, right? And now you don't even necessarily have to have a physical credit card. You can actually have your device and you can just point it at something and it registers. Crypto in itself is the cheaper, faster model of where currency is going, okay? So I'm giving you just a short, brief understanding so we're up to speed. I promise I'll slow down till when we get to it, okay? Now, what is a digital asset? All right. Now in the crypto space, which I'm going to show you here in a second, is crypto is basically a digital payment system that doesn't rely on banks. It's peer-to-peer, person-to-person. The transactions are recorded on what they call a public ledger, which is kind of like the blockchain itself. And they're stored on digital wallets. All right. So there's your short version of what crypto is. All right. Now, since I'm talking about crypto, I got to make sure I put the disclaimer in here. Crypto and products are not regulated at this moment. Okay. They're starting to come out with new regulations and things like that. I am not a financial advisor. None of the thing I say on here is financial advice, and past performance does not guarantee future results. All right. So there's the disclaimer. But here's what you need to know is the biggest brands in the world are all now starting to take crypto. Most everything's moving in that direction. Banks are taking crypto. Like I said, big businesses. All right, now let's get back to the digital asset part. What does this mean for you? Okay, so crypto is becoming mainstream. How do you capitalize on this? Well, there's two ways to capitalize on crypto. One, you can buy tokens. There's quite a few tokens out there. Most everybody's heard of Bitcoin. A lot of people have heard of Ethereum, XRP, etc. And you have the ability to buy those tokens or those coins on the open market. Now, the difference with what we do or what you have the ability to participate in is purchasing what they call a miner or a seat on this. We can get like a hash power. And what it does is a miner produces tokens. So the tokens are what we consider the golden eggs, whereas the miners are the geese or the goose laying those golden eggs. And no matter how many you spend, every day you have new tokens coming in. Because what's happening is it's just a reward for doing something on the blockchain. Okay, so think of it like a toll booth on the digital superhighway. You earn rewards as the transactions happen on the blockchain. That's all that you're getting rewarded for, okay? And you don't have to have any knowledge of this, and you don't have to have any physical devices. Now, let me explain this in easy to understand terms. If you've ever gone to a store and you've pulled out your credit card and you've walked up to the machine and you put it down on the machine to pay for that transaction, what is happening is money is leaving your account from your bank, going through the device, registering that as a transaction, and then showing that bank or that business where you bought it at that they've approved it. here's the key. If you can insert yourself somehow in the middle of that transaction, like a toll booth on this digital highway, you get rewarded in the form of tokens, whatever that project might be. And in this project, I'm showing you or talking about TexitCoin, which I'm going to give you a little more detail on here in a second. Okay, so all you do is you're purchasing or owning a digital asset that, as transactions happen on the superhighway of the blockchain, you're getting a little piece of that, which is really, really good. Okay, now let's talk about the TexitCoin mining opportunity. Okay, anybody can buy a miner. There's no setup. And basically it's a set it and forget it situation. You literally buy it, digital asset, and then every day that thing produces tokens. What happens is these tokens are then on the cryptocurrency mainstream networks out there, and people can buy and sell those tokens based on the value, liquidity, and so on. And if you look, I'm going to pull this up. You can see that way back when, over a year ago or close to a year ago now, the price, I think, launched right around 6 cents. And then you can see the growth of this thing has been nice and steady, going up, going up, and going up, and so on. And like I showed you this in the beginning, we're talking a whopping 4,600% growth. Okay. Now, how does somebody get one of these things so that it makes them produces rewards or tokens every day for them? You can go here to TexitCoin, minetxc.com. I would tell you, first off, you should always check with whoever maybe shared this video with you, and they can give you more details. Somebody literally clicks join now, drops in, they fill out their information, and then they have the ability to choose what package they would like. Let me show you this. I can see if I can scroll through here. You can buy up to 9. Okay, so I probably have to shrink that screen real quick. There we go. You can buy up to 9 for $89.55, and sometimes they do have promos that you could get more. Okay, so if you're following me, you basically have the ability to buy assets that are rewarding you in the form of tokens. Okay, so you're getting these as they come in, they're digital assets and so on. Now, if that's the case, since they started right around 6 cents and now it's over $3, those same tokens, as they accumulate or and increase in price, go into your pocket. You have a digital wallet that you can transact with. You can cash those tokens out today. You can put them in your bank account, or a lot of us are kind of holding those tokens because we believe that, based on some of the things that are happening advertising wise and so on, that the growth of this token is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And let's talk about that. Okay, so what's happening is, ultimately, in a nutshell, we are crowdfunding what we believe could be one of the largest crypto blockchain projects out there. All right, that's really all it is. It's a crowdfunding project that individuals like you and I can go out, buy these miners, which creates that participation. And for that participation, you're getting rewards every single day. These are some of the images I pulled up of the miners that are out there. They are installing brand new, they're called L1 Fog Hash 9, I think it's L9. I'm sorry, L9 miners. L1's the blockchain. L9 miners. I can't give you all the details. Again, you don't have to know this stuff, but you can see it. I have friends and family that have actually visited the facilities. These are pictures of the boxes coming in. Everything's totally transparent, by the way. We have there's lots of stuff you can see on the internet. There's lots of videos of people that have recorded visiting this facility. And some of the word is really starting to spread because of the advertising dollars that Texas is putting out there for letting people know about this project. One of which is in all of the Dallas-Fort Worth airport. You can see these are images from the gates, the signs, the digital signage. They flip over like every 60 seconds. There are digital billboards all over the central Texas area, which is kind of where the formation of this created. There's now, I know there's digital signage down in Florida. There's digital signage in Arizona and so on. So the project's getting bigger and bigger. This is an image from the Austin airport. I do know that they're putting them in the Houston airport shortly. They even have blimps or balloons going out there and so on. A lot of people have cars wrapped. And all of this is kind of going to the owner. We're not going to the owner, but it was started by this gentleman, Bobby Gray, with the idea of this as transparent money back to the real world of currency, what it's supposed to do, and so on, where he actually, you can look it up. He's got a great track record of success. He spoke in front of Congress back in 2011 with Ron Paul, which is pretty amazing. He's spoken at digital currency summits, the mining summits, largest ones in the world. And here he is at Ron Paul's birthday party, a bash right there, which is pretty cool. He was in for that. Okay. Now back to this. What we're doing, like I said, is we're just crowdfunding a large L1 blockchain mine. That's it. Okay. The seats will sell out. Personally, I believe, looking at extrapolating the numbers and putting all the data that they give us, which I'm going to show you now here in a second, I believe they're going to sell these out probably in the next 6 months at the latest. Okay. So let's look at this. So after somebody decides, hey, this makes sense, I want to participate, I would like to jump on the bandwagon and see if I can get tokens in this. You can buy them on the open market, but again, it's better to have a goose laying golden eggs than just to have the eggs. But what happens is once somebody decides they're in, they get put in the system, you actually have a back office that you can track everything. Okay. Now, when you track stuff, you can see, and the company is Texit is very transparent in their crowdfunding project here, showing all the revenue of where everything's going, promotions, mines, liquidity, everything like that, incomes, and so on. You can look all this up. You can also look at how much revenue is coming in commissions per day, per month, and so on. I'm going to show you this right here. This should give you an idea that this thing is growing. That's how the mine is getting built. That is how the mine is getting built. And for you participating, you're getting rewarded in that. And you can see that the amount of miners that are jumping on board is starting to exponentially grow. And at the time of me recording this, you can see that there's over 23,000 people that have decided to join and become part of the crowdfunding project. And by doing so, what's happening is all of them are averaging between about 4 miners per person. You can earn more by doing certain things, which is great. Now, let's talk last thing to sum it all up. And I know I went through a lot in a fairly short period of time, but I'll break it down and make sure you understand this by the time we're done here. Is when you go into your back office after you have decided to become a miner or to own a miner, and you have it, again, set it and forget it, just gives you rewards every day. You can look in your back office and you can look at your account, and then every day you will see a certain amount of rewards that are being allocated into your account. Now, the reason they're going down is because more and more people are becoming part of the mine, but what's happening is the value of the token, back to the token price, is going up and up and up and up and up. And there are a lot of good resources, a lot of good videos out there with some pretty impressive predictions of where we believe the token price can go. I'm not going to put those in this video specifically. You can look them up. You can hear some of the lives that I've done with Bobby Gray himself on where he thinks, based on math, strictly just based on math and how we're growing. Again, how we're growing is kind of giving us a proof of how this thing is developing in a very short period of time. So here's what I would tell you, kind of to sum this up, let's close it out here, is basically you have the ability to pick up a miner, okay, of the TexitCoin, which is a new blockchain project coming out, become part of the crowdfunding project. And by doing that, you get rewarded daily for that. You can liquidate those tokens the next day if you just said, hey, this is cool, I've got a couple dollars coming in every month, or every day, and I want to cash those out. You can do that. But again, a lot of us believe that if we hold these things for a little bit longer, they're going to be worth significantly more. Again, I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. I would highly recommend, if this did get your attention, to reach out to the person that got you to take a look at it, get your questions answered, jump on this thing, because it's going to sell out in a fairly short period of time. And there are other ways you can ask them too about how you can earn more miners and stuff like that. But I would tell you this, that passive income through digital assets is the way to go. And as you can see, crypto is growing faster and faster and faster. And let's just show this for one more time for fun's sake. Why not participate in a project that is exponentially growing and you can get rewarded for it? So thanks again. I appreciate your time. Maybe I'll see you on some of the other videos. Thanks.